Hail, intrepid viewers, and welcome back to 80 Days. Hopefully this is where it left off. I closed the game after that last session, and I don't know if it really did quite the exact same dialogue prompt. I assume it did. With the last light of evening... Ah yes, so you're gonna heal. Heal. I remember this exactly now. I found a local doctor to attend to my poor master. He took my master's temperature. A rush of blood to the head, I would say, 4 days to recover to full strength. There is no alternative. I mean, that's a lot of days. But we're kind of stuck here anyway. Cool. He has at last recovered. He's so pretty. Let us depart on something. Embark. First option. Why not? Let's spend half our HP doing this. Is that what I wanted? Did I actually want to go here? I want to go to Manamana. Muscat. Dubai. Oh wait, I gotta track it. Okay. Oh, a mechanical horse. We had use of the magistrate's coachman and his barouche-top phaeton, drawn by an enamel and black iron horse filled by a gas canister in her barrel. A very European contraption, but here on the edge of the desert. We set off as soon as our luggage was strapped down. I, for one, hoped dearly that the spring suspension was up to the challenge. I will converse, despite my better judgment. Oh, with you, okay. Greetings, Monsieur le Driver. Talk again, you are insufferable. Begun conversation. I am sure you know all about Muscat. Muscat is notorious haven for pirates. What about Dubai? These options open. No idea, but I do know you can pick up demijohns of olive oil in Dubai that will sell for a fortune in Bandar Abbas. I have a few options. I don't have that many options, do I? Jeddah, because it's a Star Wars place. Is it possible to go from Muscat to Jeddah? I don't know. This guy doesn't know anything. But listen, unlike Mecca and Medina, I hear Jeddah is open to foreigners. Good to know. Good to know. Maybe I got lucky with that pick. Maybe we can talk to him more later. We set off, the movement easy enough to enjoy. I saw to master's comfort. He's at full health already. I don't think it's going to do anything. I asked the coachman about his vehicle. He spat expansively into the sand in reply, and I recoiled in disgust, which did not endear me to him. Excuse me, sir, he said stiffly. Alas, I had lost the common touch somewhere in the Arabian Peninsula. My character is now presentable. Ah, I see I have 2 gauges. One, measuring my relationship with my master. Let's groom the fog. And one with my, inherent first impression with other people. The mechanical horse had ridden through the night with only intermittent supervision by the coachman. An eminently practical solution, given that there was very little risk of collision in the featureless desert, but the vista before us was far from featureless. We had reached the coast, riding along the azure water of the Persian Gulf. The salt air was bracing, the breeze from the ocean rustling the leaves of the trees and brushes that spread just beyond the line of the beach. The phaeton wheezed and puffed. The coachman looked nervous. Salt air doesn't agree with her, he said mournfully, but she didn't give out, at least not that night. Good girl and all that. Oh, we're dying. Groom the fog! Oh, too slow. This morning when I woke, I felt oddly rested. No wonder, for we had been stationary for the past few hours, our phaeton having broken down. She's a delicate creature, the coachman shouted, elbow deep inside the horse's engine. She was not built for such hard use. There was a settlement nearby where we could hire another vehicle, because we got sick mons. But alas, there was none to be found. At least, none that the people were willing to lease to 2 bedraggled foreigners. We had to walk. A most disagreeable turn of events. I will say this, Muscat was not quite so near as we had hoped, or imagined. Come nightfall, we took shelter at a nearby settlement, rather the worse for our impromptu desert trek. Passepartout impromptu, groom the fog! We're not going by mechanical phaeton, we've established we're walking! Well, we arrived at Muscat. The exact circumstances of our sojourn and our condition are better left to the imagination. Make it so. Jeez, we burned through over half our HP. That was not... We had little alternatives. Let's explore. What we got? We got places. We can go to Dubai. We can go to Karachi. I spent a few hours wandering Matra Souk, known by the rather ominous title Souk of Darkness, because the stalls and lanes are so thickly crowded that sunlight does not penetrate within. I felt like Theseus in the Minotaur's labyrinth, only I had no Ariadne to guide my way amongst the various twists and turns. I was, however, in search of a very particular quarry. Pirates. The pirates. This was the dreaded pirate coast, after all. I inquired discreetly at an antique stall, which had a variety of expensive, rather scuffed merchandise arranged in tumbled piles. Pirates are enemies of the sheik, the stallholder intoned piously, though he was unable to stop himself from adding a bitter remark, and certainly no excuse for the British to bring their ships and soldiers to our shores. I am hardly British, I exclaimed in affront. Monsieur, surely I have not fallen so far that you mistake me for an Englishman. I'm French. Is this the hair of an Englishman? I'm French. The stallholder rolled his eyes. That is hardly better. Now, my friends, I cannot deny that this callous indifference wounded me, and deeply. I maintained a stoic air, even managing to offer the man a smile to show that I did not take his terrible words to heart. Please stop smiling. He wrung his hands together, sounding unaccountably quite alarmed. If I tell you about the pirates, would you go away? He pleaded, and I assured him I would. The stallholder gave me the name of the pirate who supplied his stall with contraband artifacts, an Omani who had converted to Hinduism and made his fortune raiding vessels traversing the Arabian Sea, Captain Balaram of the airship Air Pirates! Oh, this game's getting better. Gandava, even now docked in Port Caboose. Let's go to Caboose. Caboose. Oh, no, that's Dvorak. Oh, what's the plan, Stan? What if I browse? So that's, I guess, oh, do not rotate, camera. You will confuse the crap out of me if you rotate like that. Okay, we could go to Dubai. That's the wrong direction, though. I kind of just want to go to Dvorak, Karachi. What are our options? If we go to Dubai, we can then go to Bombay, which is pretty cool. I kind of want to go to here, though. I kind of want to make my way back up north a little bit. I don't want to stay too far south, although I do have the Indian train tables, which could be cool. Where is friggin' Jeddah? Time is a-wasting. Karachi. What's that one? Tomorrow at 1 p.m. 18 HP. 9 HP for the airship. Oh, airship. Okay, we're taking the airship. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Airship. Make it so. Negotiate. The pocket altimeter from our air travel set should spur them on. Looks like we can grease the wheels. Well, that's an expensive ticket. Oh, in 2 days. Okay, tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Like I first said, tomorrow at 8 a.m. I say it, and it is so. Let us browse the market. What can we do? What do we got? Shortbread biscuits. I love shortbread biscuits. Genuine Scottish shortbread. How it got out here is hard to understand. Of interest to luxurious, posh, and premium types. The hand mirror, valuable in places I don't care about. A natural pearl. Don't care about that either. Of interest to sea dog and soldier types. We could buy some rum. We could buy some rum. Let's do it. It'll be easy of defense. It's a small investment. Maybe it'll grease some wheels. Let us hotel and heal up. Very slightly. As night fell, I attended to Monsieur Fogg, ensuring he had fresh tea. I like that, because it heals me and improves my relationship. Although I don't know what my relationship is like. Okay, to Dvarka. Embark. Boom. It's practically free. Ooh, it's a cool airship. It's got a nice little rose motif and kind of open air look to it. It's slick. The Gondova was a distinctive little airship painted bright red and covered in hundreds of dented gold bosses, with a flag painted with a flying monkey. Is that what that is? Garlanded with flowers fluttering from its mast. Captain Balaram matched this ship. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, in his appearance. Yes, that one. He matched his ship wearing a heavily embroidered red coat and turban with a jewel-hilt cutlass slung over his white dhoti. A fine ensemble. And one I am not ashamed to admit I envied. Regarding the ship, however, Monsieur Fogg's lips thinned slightly in distaste. Which I could not fathom! This was the stuff of penny dreadfuls and adventure stories! How did that ruin my relationship? I didn't even say anything to the man! Good God, he's like a freaking mind reader. I'll talk to you, you piece of crap. Oh no, you're fine, you're cool. I meant Mr. Fogg's piece of crap. Greetings, Captain. Why Passepartout? I need to know about Dvarka. The Hindus say that Dvarka is the ancient city of the god Krishna. I care about Bombay. Yes, Dvarka is connected to Bombay by air. Now, anyway, ever considered the pearl trade? I did not buy the pearl, no. Must be honest, I'm happy as I am. I can't understand that, but very well. Well, if I had bought a pearl, oh well. Let's talk about Allahabad. We have a timetable for routes from Bombay to Allahabad. You mentioned trains. I've been told my friend always wanted to take the Transcontinental Express from Salt Lake City to Burlington. Okay, what about Burlington? What more can you tell me about Burlington? I hear that some buyers will pay well for evening jackets. I don't care. I don't need money. I'm so rich I could polish shoes all day. No, I actually am running low on money. Ish, I mean, I don't expect this money to last me the rest of the way around the world. Let's talk about... What? These are American places. I guess I should prepare for America. I don't know. Omaha. Is it possible to travel to Burlington to Omaha? Maybe, but you can obtain cotton flowers in Omaha. You can sell for profit in Havana. Goodbye! Wow. Oh! We are getting routes. Cool, cool, cool. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at that. Okay, buy the flowers, buy the jackets, buy your kids, buy your wife. We're not halfway there yet. I don't even know the distances. As it was only a day's journey to Varka, we dined with the captain in the evening. The captain regaled us, I'm not going to talk to his wife, with fanciful tale of how he once saw a giant narwhal in the Arabian Sea and fired a pistol into its eye. What a monster, until we were suddenly interrupted by a siren's wail. Is it serious? I demanded, leaping to my feet. The captain stood up also. We are being pursued, he informed us, grimly. I clicked by mistake. We're being pursued. Good enough to me. Converse. Hey, lady. Greetings, madame. My good man. Passport 2. Talk about Dvarka to Bombay for me. I've heard Dvarka is connected to Bombay by air. Speaking of inventions, I understand my aunt always wanted to take the gyrocopter from Gastown to San Francisco. Okay, San Francisco it is. Wait, Bombay to... new option, Bangalore. You mentioned trains. I've been told New Orleans is linked to New York by the Piedmont airline. Let's talk about Colombo. That seems quite impossible to me. Now tell me, ever considered the pearl trade? No. What about Antananarivo? Antananarivo. No idea, but now they may say the Malagasy Queen is an artificer. Ooh, Stonetown. How about that? Okay, goodbye. Well, we uncovered some stuff. Is this South America that we're looking at? Oh, no, it's North America. The people of this land are remarkably well informed of the travel routes across America. I do not understand why, but I will not complain, as I slowly perish. Groom the fog! Ooh, my man, your attention, it's very relaxing. In the morning light, Monsieur Fogg discovered that our pursuer, I can read, was a girderless Parseval-type British naval airship, which changed its attitude to the situation. Who is talking? He said? Who is he? Oh, Mr. Fogg, I see. It appears the Gandava acts against British interests, he said as I heated the water for his morning shave. We have a duty to aid Her Majesty's Navy. He was entirely correct. We could not ignore our moral obligation, because it would be inconvenient. He proposed that we, that is, I, should sabotage the Gandava. And I agreed. Adventure! Readily. For my assault, I chose a vertiginous essay on the engines, which necessitated climbing the rope ladder strung to the envelope and performing something of a miracle with a shilling piece. Thrown to the propellers with deadly accuracy. The engines guttered and stalled, and we began to descend. Why would I sabotage it while I'm still currently on it? Monsieur Fogg had everything under control on the observation deck. Matters moved quickly. Naval officers boarded the Gandava within an hour, arrested the captain and his wife, and diverted us to Bombay without so much as a by your leave. And so it was that we arrived in the jewel of the British Empire, the vast dominion of India. Well, I did a terrible thing to ingratiate myself to a terrible man, and I don't feel great about that. I don't feel bad about that either. Oh, do I get free travel to Bombay? Didn't even stop in Gandava. I don't really feel negatively about that. Okay. We can complete our air gear set here. Let's do it. No! I clicked hotel. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I wanted to the market anyway. The market was closed until now. Monsieur Fogg cared not a straw for the wonders of Bombay, but gave me a few hours' leisure as he settled onto his evening paper. I ended up wheezing and puffing my way up Malabar Hill, the highest point in South Bombay. I paused at the top and looked out towards the city. I could see the gas lamps along the Queen's Necklace of Marin Drive being lit one by one in preparation for the evening, and palm trees waving in the salt-scented breeze. Catching my breath, I found my steps irresistibly drawn towards Hanging Gardens, which shielded the Parsi Towers of Silence from the bay. The Hanging Gardens were magnificent. The little steam-powered curricles and horse-drawn carriages vied for space underneath the shady trees. British officers escorted their stiff-bodiced wives or made eyes at brightly dressed Indian girls. And in the shadow of the gardens, I saw the symbol of the copper lily on the door of a converted mansion. Converted to what? I approached and knocked on the door, and was given a cup of tea and a cushioned wicker chair almost as soon as I crossed the threshold of this outpost of the Artificers' Guild. They were a varied group. Most were British or Indian, but I spotted a few Turks and Chinese. More than half were women, and all sat sipping tea together as equals and poring over periodicals. A middle-aged Sikh in a bright blue turban and admirably pressed trousers approached me. "What is it you require, traveller?" "I would like to know the fastest way from here." Dharampal, the Sikh man, wrinkled his nose. "Not the train," he said. "The paper says it goes to Calcutta, but the line stops at Allahabad. There is no track between there and Calcutta." "So we would be stranded if we went that way." "Perhaps so," Dharampal replied cheerfully. "I thanked the artificers profusely before taking my leave, though, alas, I was so distracted by my musings that I failed to notice two thuggish fellows with ill intent who cornered me in a side street and demanded my shoes. I handed them over, without fussing, aware that antagonizing them might lead to further, less commodious demands upon my person. I returned to my master barefoot and rather shamed face. "I hope that will not happen again," said my master coldly. "That was to be the last word on Bombay, gateway to the jewel and the crown of the British Empire, except for... And what, pray, has happened to your shoes?" At least my whatchamahoozlet didn't go down. Do I dare explore? I need to see what paths I have before I explore, I suppose. I'm just waiting 5 seconds to get to the market. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Market. Okay, what do we got? Tobacco. Field glasses. Air traveler set. Okay. Field glasses. Bingo, bango, bongo. We are an air traveler. Let's depart. To where? Madras? Colombo. I want to go to Colombo. Walter. Well. Rangoon. Okay, let's try it. I don't really have any other options I care about. Colombo sounds cool, but no. Okay, Madras. Tomorrow at 1. Tomorrow at 1, I must negotiate. The Englishman's wardrobe should yield results. Most generous. The ticket will require no charge. Wait. What do you mean no charge? The ticket will require extra 480. No charge. Those are contradictory statements, my good friend. Well, I will hire the extra space. That is well worth it for 10. Why is this train so diggity-dang uncomfortable? That's what I want to know. The Bombay Express was a fine train, rivaling the Orient Express herself for comfort and luxury. Inside each softly lit compartment, Persian rugs and Venetian lamps threw color over fittings of teak wood and burnished brass. Most acceptable. If only all our journeys were so well appointed. Was it, though? Groom of the Fog! I wonder if I'm missing out on a lot of stuff by not talking more. I went to explore the observation decks, set with wicker chairs and parasols to better and more comfortably observe the countryside flashing past. And that was where I met Anne-Marie Spencer, a girl of maybe 10 years sketching the distant hills. I guess I'll be creepy and talk to the 10-year-old girl. I greeted her politely as I took the spot beside her. She smiled and with deft movements adjusted the position of her wheeled chair to give me more room, dropping one of her pencils as she moved. I returned it with a bow and giggled. Oh, and she giggled. Here's your dropped pencil. You must be French, she declared. You're gallant indeed. I smiled politely and looked aside. I knew it, she said. I have a good eye. I see things as they are. That is why I draw. I looked over her pictures to be confronted by their strangeness. I could not recognize anything of the landscape she was so closely watching in the lines and shapes that filled the pages. You have a most unusual style, I hedged. Oh, monsieur, she said, I have a good eye. I can see you are lying. I shrugged and did not attempt to deny it. Your pictures are terrible, mademoiselle, I told her. They offend my eye, my sense of proportion, and space. They are unspeakable. She nodded. Most vulnerable, she replied. I knew it. Just then, my attention was distracted as my master beckoned me over to make ready his evening wear. I bid her farewell, and she nodded to me. Fogg is the biggest villain I've ever seen in a video game this year, I think. And she nodded to me. I will see you again, Monsieur Passepartout, she told me as I left her. I did not stop to wonder that day how it was she knew my name. Is that the Matrix? I will converse with... the conductor. Greetings, Monsieur Compton. Can I help you? Have you locked yourself out of your apartment? Let's talk about Madras. I'm very interested. It's beyond my remit. Okay, fine, we'll talk about... I want to know about Singapore. Is there a route from Madras to Singapore? Seems unlikely to you. What about Stonetown? Now you listen to me. You can pick up rhino horns in Stonetown that will sell for a fortune in Colombo. Well, I'm not going to Stonetown. I don't even know where Stonetown is. I know Colombo's there. Oh, groom the fog. Stroke the fog. Pet the fog. Next morning I discovered I'd lost my passport. I concealed the fact from my master, and made an excuse about requiring some soda crystals to excuse my slipping out of the compartment. I decided to enlist the help of Anne-Marie. She knows everything, and her excellent eye, so I tracked her down on the observation deck and explained the situation. She looks most concerned. What might happen to you without documents? At worst, I will not be allowed to travel, I replied, and that would be most serious, as my master is on a journey around the world. She nodded. Well then, we shall have to look, won't we? I think you should search the crew cabins which my chair cannot access, and I will look about here. It seemed like a good plan. So I agreed. As I was heading from the car, I felt certain the girl would locate my papers. Sure, make it so. With her sharp eye and inquisitive mind. But went to search the crew cabins immediately. All the same, my breaking and entering was rumbled in moments, of course, by a cabin boy of only 7 or 8 years. I tried to explain, but his English and my Punjabi rather missed each other. The lad quickly called for the guard. The guard, a surly fellow with a mysterious mustache he was in the habit of waving around, sat me down and demanded the facts, which I provided. I visited the observation deck. Very wise, the views are most astounding. Go on. He waved at me to continue. I was talking to a girl in a wheelchair. At that, he sat bolt upright. Anne-Marie Spencer, then our mystery is solved. Come with me. Together we marched to the observation deck, where we found the young mademoiselle idling away at her sketching. Young lady, the guard demanded, stand up. I folded my arms in annoyance as the young crippled Anne-Marie got up from her wheelchair and then curtsied in front of me. I am afraid I'm a dreadful kleptomaniac, she apologized with deep insincerity, and an unparalleled liar to boot. My passport, please, I demanded, with no small irritation. I dropped it, she replied, with an indifferent shrug. Somewhere. Tell me where, I insisted firmly. Then Anne-Marie sat down again, suddenly glum. You've stopped being charming, she said morosely. Here's your passport. She reached into a fold of her dress and pulled out my papers, and the guard wheeled her away as I wiped my brow with relief. A long and most difficult delay had been avoided. Groom the fog! Trim his brow. This train is also slow. I did not see the girl at all today. I think she was being kept within her quarters under some kind of observation, suitable to her flagrant criminality. I occupied my time attending to my master's state. Ooh, there's a good chunk of points there. Keeping him comfortable and the vigorous return to his cheeks under my looks of attention. Blah 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 blah. Exhausting. It's so exhausting to ride a train, isn't it, Mr. Fogg? At Madras, they pushed the young girl from the train, poof, down a ramp, and she waved up at me before turning to face the road ahead. Under the weight of our cases, I could not wave back, and then she was gone. Who was that girl? My master asked. A thief. Plain and simple, I told him. Monsieur Fogg seemed displeased at my answer. I suppose it was not very gallant. Still, I spoke nothing but the truth. Why do I even flipping try, you guys? I just get smashed down. The railway cap could be sold handsomely here. How much? How much for the railway cap? 190, but I have a complete railway map. Ooh, a China tea set, tobacco, snuff, henna. These are all very cool things. Let's explore. To Voltaire and to Colombo. I think we will have to go to Voltaire. Madras was a city within a city. Inside the walls and fortifications of Fort St. George was White Town. Racist, where British memsahibs and factors traded and went to church and travelled from place to place in mechanical palanquins. I found the colonial officers to be particularly dim and hard-headed. I would have blamed it on the humidity, but the locals seemed to manage their wits without any trouble. I ventured into Blacktown, where I attracted a few glances, but no real attention. No doubt there were many reasons for a lone foreigner to wander the cramped streets and back alleys. But after a few minutes I realized I was being stalked. I turned to face my shadow, to find myself face to face with a nun. "Would you like a blessing, good sir?" An ornate gold cross hung heavily from her neck. "Yes, sister." Her smile sprouted razors, and with no further warning she brought her heavy gold cross down on my head with a crack. My vision sputtered and sparked into blackness. I think that would have happened regardless of what I said. Yes. When I awoke, as in a nunnery, my nun assailant offered me a cool cloth. "I am Sister Panamalar, and this is the convent of the Sisters of Didacus." "Why am I here?" "You are here because you are meant to be here," she said portentously. "My order does not believe, as the Pope does, that automatons are abominations. We believe that machines, too, are capable of grace." Well, I agree with you so far. "Fascinating," I replied sarcastically. The nun smiled that cold, mean little smile once more. "The Didashian sisters are dedicated to the search for a machine which has a soul, and now we require for your help in our search." You could simply have asked. "The Lord does not ask, he expects." "Are you the Lord?" "Now listen to me," she replied She helped me woozily to my feet. "If you find an automaton whose shard is engraved with a soul on your travels, send a telegram to us. We have our own receiving station here. We will reward you materially, and if that is your wish, but we must have such a shard." "As you say, sister. I will say anything to get away from you." I agreed, wishing to make good my escape. "I'll inform you at once." "I have faith," the nun said calmly. And then she let me go. I did not know what to make of Sister Panamalar and her order of artificer nuns then, and I do not know now. I admit I was glad to know we would be leaving Madras and its walls and fortifications and secrets. Okay, depart. Options. Give me options. 520, minus 30. If I stop in Voltaire, minus 22. I don't really care to stop in Voltaire. Colombo seems super dicey. It's all boats though, I guess. Yeah, let's do it. Just go straight there. Boom, bam, boom. Ooh, close call. Almost missed that window. Once this pauses, I'm going to end the episode here. So the next time we meet, we will be en route to Voltaire, on the Western Flower, a beautiful ship if ever there was one. I don't know how stormy these waters will be, but we shall see. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next part. Signature catchphrase.